34. Farewell. O life, thou soon I will depart, to never see the sun, to never soar in the sky. With freedom I was won. I praised the Lord for a pair of wings that he bestowed on me. They carried me across the skies, above the land and sea, above all creatures of the land that crawl their way through mud and sand. From high above I watched with awe the splendor of the earth. I flew above the wooded valleys where mighty trees lay waiting for the spring, like mother bird awaits with zeal the crackle of an egg, triumph of life. As hatchling came I to this world, to spread my wings among the wooded hills, where love was in the air and the trees would gently wave to me, and every brush was dear to my heart and loved me back. A blissful infant in a distant land, I was indeed in paradise when I beheld from mountain top the emerald woods. Who hasn't seen those valleys of my youth can't comprehend the beauty of the hills. But I grew up, and time had come for me to leave my blessed home, to see the land that's far away, just a short visit, not long stay. And so I kissed my native land and spread my wings, and off I went. The years went by, and my intent to go back to native land forgotten was, and ruled my fate in foreign land for death to wait. I prayed to Lord not once, not twice, but many times and many nights, to keep me on this blessed land until I tasted life to full extent. But who am I to ask and pray to grant me an extended stay, when all the time the death comes home to those who barely lived at all? And if it's true what people say, that on the earth is short our stay, immortal soul of mine, one day will come back to forever dwell among my native hills, where I was once as happy as a child. I love the ocean, but the trees and grassy hills and mountain breeze are closer to my soul than squalls and shrieking songs of roaming gulls. Oh, earth, perhaps you never knew the longing of my soul for you, which matches the eternal love for you by heavens up above. Yet I am not in any haste, my earthly flesh in you to waste, the very flesh that once was home to soul that was set free to roam. So I respectfully refuse to fester with the old refuse. I'll ride the waves and soar again before I meet my watery end. And though I'm not afraid to die, I sadden when the thought comes by, for I will never see again the splendor of this God-made land. The river's waters mighty roll, and lilies bloom and roses brawl, about whose fragrance wind will take the farthest distance from the lake. I leave this life in grief for life. Sometimes we cry, and our tears release the burden of our fears, and even if the heart is bleeding, make easier for us to flap our wings. But there's a different kind of crying. This one is more akin to dying. It has no tears. It dwells inside the soul. It kills the joy of life. It is the worst of all. On sunny day, it blankets skies with clouds. It devastates us from inside, and we are helpless to resist or simply lack desire to put out this gut-consuming fire. Behold, it comes at last, the final day, when life is slowly going away, the very life that had rebuffed the sun to expedite the end. And bitterly we cry for ourselves, without the tears that dried out long ago, regretting that we failed to part with pain and valued not the life. And death is knocking loudly on our door. A nemesis without pity cares not about us, who finally wisened up, and closed our hearts to pain and learned to love the life at last.